Look right, look left, look right again. If all's clear, walk quickly across.
Batman of 1966 held the record for the longest-running live-action superhero television series until Smallville surpassed it in 2007. For decades, fans celebrated its campy charm, Adam West's iconic performance, and the colorful, over-the-top villains that defined an era. Yet, despite its popularity and a total of 120 episodes, there was one scene that remained completely hidden from the public eye for decades, and today, that footage has finally surfaced. That means, for the very first time in 60 years, fans are witnessing a secret that was never intended to be seen. This isn't just a lost clip. It's a piece of television history that slipped through the cracks. A time capsule of the Caped Crusaders' adventures that defied the expectations of fans and scholars alike. So, don't even think about clicking away. What I'm about to reveal is more than just a forgotten moment. It's a secret that opens a window into the strange and hidden corners of Batman's legacy. It's a mystery wrapped in decades of speculation, legal entanglements, and sheer cultural oversight. And once you see it, you might begin to wonder, what else has been lurking unseen, waiting for discovery? For many years, Batman fans found themselves surrounded by whispers and half-truths about lost footage from the legendary 1966 television series. The show, with its bright colors, memorable sound effects, and campy tone, had once defined superhero television for an entire generation. Adam West's portrayal of the Caped Crusader became a symbol of heroic yet playful storytelling. And for fans of the era, it was nothing short of magical. Yet, despite this enduring popularity, the series seemed to vanish from live-action television after its original run. Unlike other comic book characters who returned repeatedly to the screen, Batman had somehow been kept at arm's length. Questions naturally arose. Why was the world seemingly denied access to additional Batman content? Why would one of the most recognizable superheroes in history fade into obscurity when other heroes were constantly revived? The absence of Batman from television was not simply a matter of time or changing tastes. It became a puzzle, a cultural anomaly that sparked endless debate among fans. Discussions about the missing scenes and unseen footage spread through forums, fan clubs, and conventions. Every fan who had grown up watching West in his cape and cowl felt a sense of curiosity tinged with frustration. There was something missing, something deliberately kept out of view, and nobody knew why. Over time, a rumor emerged, and it slowly solidified into what many in the fandom came to treat as fact. According to this theory, Disney had quietly acquired exclusive rights to Batman's television appearances. If true, this meant that Warner Brothers, the original producer of the series, along with other studios, were legally barred from creating new content featuring the 1966 version of Batman. This explanation, though never fully confirmed, seemed to fit the puzzle. Fans pointed to historical legal battles, convoluted contractual clauses, and licensing issues dating back to the original Fox series. One particularly compelling piece of evidence was a 2012 article describing how Warner Brothers had been unable to manufacture Adam West Batman toys for nearly 40 years due to rights disputes. If they could not even make toys, could television appearances have been similarly restricted? Many fans believed so. The legal entanglements were just part of the story. Fans speculated wildly. Had Warner Brothers wanted to revive the series but been stopped by corporate restrictions? Were scenes deliberately withheld to avoid violating some obscure contract? Every gap in the historical record became a potential clue, and soon, the mystery of the missing footage grew into a full-blown legend. What fueled this legend further were the subtle inconsistencies in reruns of the 1966 series. Dedicated collectors and casual fans alike began to notice small anomalies. Batgirl's exit scenes disappearing mid-sequence, fragments of dialogue missing, and even parts of the iconic Bat Fight sequences, complete with their vibrant sound effect graphics, vanishing without explanation. At first glance, these edits seemed minor, perhaps the result of careless archiving. But for the obsessive fans, these missing moments were more than incidental. They were breadcrumbs pointing towards something larger. They suggested that someone, somewhere, had been selectively trimming, hiding, or even erasing footage. What else might be lurking unseen? The theory persisted that the series' content had been deliberately withheld, either for legal reasons, censorship, or corporate control. The intrigue only deepened when stories began circulating about a particularly elusive piece of footage, a segment that was not just missing dialogue or an exit scene, but an entire clip that had vanished from public awareness for decades. This was the kind of find that turned fan speculation into full-blown obsession. This brings us to the story of the lost London footage. Unlike other small edits or truncated dialogue, this was a substantial standalone piece of Batman history. In 1967, Adam West filmed a special scene, not for an episode of the television series, not for a feature film, but for a public service announcement in the United Kingdom. The goal was simple: to teach children about road safety. Yet this PSA was never broadcast in the United States. For decades, it remained tucked away in British archives, entirely unknown to American fans. Imagine a piece of official Batman film, starring the original television hero, sitting unnoticed in a foreign archive for half a century while fans debated what might have been lost. The clip's rediscovery came in 2018, thanks to Kaleidoscope, a television archive group dedicated to recovering the top 100 missing clips in British TV history. When the footage surfaced, it was hailed as a rediscovered treasure. The scene, once thought to be lost forever, offered a tangible glimpse into the past and transformed fan understanding of Batman's television legacy. The resurfacing of the London PSA carried significance beyond the mere joy of seeing Adam West in action. It reminded fans and scholars alike that our understanding of television history is always incomplete, that entire pieces of cultural memory can slip through the cracks. If this one-minute PSA had gone unnoticed for decades, what else might be hidden in private collections, dusty archives, or forgotten reels? The discovery reinvigorated questions about censorship, selective archiving, and the ways in which corporate control can shape public memory. For Batman enthusiasts, it confirmed that not every lost reel had been accounted for, and that perhaps the narrative of missing content carried more weight than skeptics had previously admitted. It also sparked renewed interest in tracking down other lost media from the 1960s, reminding the world that history is often more layered and mysterious than it appears. What made this London scene particularly fascinating was its context. In May 1967, Adam West stepped into the Batman costume not to fight the Joker or Riddler, not to save Gotham City, but to deliver a serious message about road safety to British children. Batman, the symbol of vigilance, justice, and crime fighting, was repurposed to instruct young pedestrians on looking both ways before crossing the street. To modern audiences, the scene may seem humorous, even absurd, but at the time it was brilliant marketing and cultural strategy. Batman was one of the most recognizable characters in the world, and if Batman told children to follow rules, who would dare ignore him? The short film, lasting only about a minute, carried a surprising weight of authority. It reminded audiences that the Caped Crusader could transcend the boundaries of entertainment and enter public life as a figure of moral instruction. They banned it back in 1966 and swore it would never see the light of day. Yet after 6 decades, the truth has emerged. Fans can now witness a moment that had been buried for generations. A brief but striking reminder that even the most familiar cultural icons can hold hidden depths. The story of this lost Batman scene serves as a powerful reminder. History is never truly complete. Secrets linger in archives, and mysteries wait patiently for discovery. The resurfaced PSA may only be 1 minute long, but its impact resonates far beyond its brief runtime. So for fans of The Dark Knight, scholars of television history, and lovers of lost media, the message is clear. Keep looking, keep searching, because the world is filled with hidden treasures, and sometimes even Batman himself can surprise us in the most unexpected ways. Adam West wasn't just a man in a costume. He was the embodiment of Batman for an entire generation. But what did he think about this unusual PSA assignment? Reports and interviews suggest that West approached the project with a mix of professionalism and curiosity. He understood the iconic weight of his character and knew that even a simple message like road safety carried the potential to influence thousands of children. Unlike typical filming, this was a different environment. No sound effects, no villains, no dramatic fight sequences, just West in costume, walking through London streets, explaining simple yet critical safety rules. It must have been surreal for him, trading the Batcave and Batmobile for ordinary urban settings. Yet his performance maintained the gravitas that fans had come to expect, demonstrating why Adam West was more than just a campy television star. He was an ambassador for Batman's enduring influence. The discovery of this lost footage would not have been possible without tireless archivists and preservation groups. Kaleidoscope, the UK-based television archive organization, played a pivotal role in rescuing missing television history. Their work highlights a larger truth. Much of pop culture from the mid-20th century is at risk of being permanently lost. Television archives are treasure troves, filled with forgotten commercials, public service announcements, and one-off specials. Many of these clips never made it onto home video or streaming platforms. Without groups like Kaleidoscope, the 1967 Batman PSA might still be hidden in a reel, unnoticed and unappreciated. This raises broader questions about how society preserves media history and the role archives play in shaping what we remember or forget about our cultural icons. When the footage resurfaced, reactions were immediate and enthusiastic. Fans flooded social media, forums, and fan clubs with clips, screenshots, and enthusiastic commentary. For many, the discovery was surreal. Some joked about Batman's career pivot, while others marveled at the authority West brought even to a 1-minute PSA. Culturally, the clip reinforced the idea that Batman is a malleable symbol. Over the decades, he has been dark, brooding, comedic, and campy. Yet here was evidence that even in his lighthearted 1960s incarnation, he could transcend entertainment and serve a public purpose. This tiny scene sparked discussions about how fictional heroes can influence real-world behavior, a topic still relevant for modern superhero storytelling. This discovery reignited interest in lost media more broadly. For decades, fans have speculated about missing scenes from movies, TV shows, and commercials. The Lost London Batman PSA is an ideal case study, a piece of content that was presumed gone, only to resurface decades later. Archivists, collectors, and fans alike began to ask, what else might be hidden in vaults? Private collections or international archives? Could there be other PSA-style clips, experimental sequences, or behind-the-scenes footage that were never intended for public eyes? This curiosity continues to fuel fan research and media restoration efforts, reminding us that pop culture history is far from static. It's a living puzzle waiting to be pieced together. Part of the excitement surrounding the PSA's discovery is nostalgia. For those who grew up with Adam West's Batman, the 1960s series is more than entertainment. It's a formative part of their childhood. Rediscovering even a short clip evokes a flood of memories. Saturday mornings, comic books, and the excitement of watching Batman battle villains on TV. Yet nostalgia alone doesn't explain the fascination. There's also a sense of uncovering hidden truth. Fans feel they are gaining insider knowledge, a secret that enhances their appreciation of the series. This combination of nostalgia and revelation makes discoveries like the London PSA particularly compelling, bridging generations of Batman enthusiasts and reminding new fans that the character's history is deeper than it appears. The story of the Lost PSA also serves as a cautionary tale about media preservation. Today, almost every production is digitally archived, but the 1960s was an era of fragile film reels and limited documentation. Countless television episodes, commercials, and public service announcements have been lost forever due to neglect, decay, or simple oversight. The PSA's survival highlights the importance of dedicated preservation efforts. It shows that even seemingly minor or ephemeral productions can carry historical, cultural, and entertainment value decades later. Archivists and fans alike are reminded to treat every piece of media as potentially significant, no matter how small or inconsequential it may seem at the time. Adam West was more than the actor who wore the cape and cowl. He was the living embodiment of a television era, a man who bridged the gap between comic books and mainstream culture. The Lost London PSA highlights an often overlooked aspect of his career: versatility. West could move seamlessly from campy crime-fighting adventures to a serious public message, showing audiences that his performance was rooted in sincerity as much as charisma. Fans often forget that actors like West helped shape how superheroes were perceived on television. He brought discipline, timing, and respect for the character, qualities that made the PSA believable despite its unusual premise. Watching him deliver road safety advice in full costume reminds viewers why the 1966 Batman is still beloved. He was serious when needed, playful when appropriate, and always authoritative. The Batman PSA was filmed in London, a fact that added another layer to its mystery. For decades, it was completely unknown outside of the UK. This shows how media produced in one country can remain invisible elsewhere, even when it involves a global icon like Batman. International archives are filled with similar hidden gems. Shows, commercials, and PSAs produced for local audiences often never reach international markets, leaving significant gaps in our understanding of pop culture history. The discovery of the London PSA demonstrates how the global flow of media can affect fan knowledge and historical record, emphasizing the importance of cross-border archival work. When Kaleidoscope released the footage in 2018, the response was immediate. Fans shared clips, screenshots, and reactions online, reigniting discussions about Adam West's legacy and the 1966 series. Many were amused at the unusual context, Batman giving traffic advice, but most recognized the historical significance. The clip offered new insight into how seriously the character could be taken even outside traditional storytelling. Social media buzzed with speculation. Were there other hidden PSA clips or other international recordings of the series that might still exist? The rediscovery sparked a wave of curiosity and a renewed focus on media preservation. Once one piece of lost media resurfaces, the imagination of fans runs wild. The PSA's discovery gave rise to new theories. Perhaps there are unaired scenes, behind-the-scenes reels, or experimental footage from the 1966 series still waiting to be found. Some theorists argue that Warner Brothers owes Fox, or even private collectors may have material locked away due to legal issues or perceived inappropriateness for the era. Others speculate that international broadcasters may have copies of clips never aired in the U.S. The excitement lies in the possibility, any day, another reel could emerge, adding depth to the story of Batman on television. The Lost PSA also offers a unique lens through which to compare past and modern portrayals of Batman. Today, Batman is often dark, brooding, and cinematic, a far cry from the light-hearted and colorful version of the 1960s. Yet, the PSA reminds us that even the campy Batman carried authority and cultural influence. Modern audiences can appreciate the contrast. While current adaptations focus on psychological depth and realism, Adam West's Batman was persuasive through charisma and moral clarity. The PSA, though brief, demonstrates that superheroes have always had the power to educate and influence society beyond entertainment. The PSA's rediscovery was made possible through meticulous archival technology. Restoration teams scanned old reels, digitized fragile footage, and corrected decades of decay. Without such technology, this piece of history might have remained lost forever. This raises broader questions about media preservation in the digital age. How many other cultural artifacts are waiting in archives, forgotten because they were never properly cataloged? The Batman PSA serves as both a historical artifact and a case study in how technology can revive the past for modern audiences. For fans and collectors, the story of the Lost PSA offers several lessons. First, never underestimate the value of obscure content. Even a one-minute clip can reshape understanding of a beloved series. Second, collaboration between archivists, historians, and enthusiasts is crucial. Without Kaleidoscope's work, this clip might have remained hidden indefinitely. Finally, the discovery reminds fans to keep exploring. Private collections, small archives, and forgotten reels may contain treasures waiting to be rediscovered. The Batman PSA proves that even decades-old material can surprise, entertain, and educate new generations of fans. The 1967 PSA was not the only piece of Batman content that slipped through history. Promotional material, advertisements, and special appearances often went unrecorded or unpreserved. Some fan researchers have uncovered rare magazine spreads, behind-the-scenes photographs, and even radio spots featuring Adam West as Batman, most of which were thought lost. These forgotten materials highlight how studios historically prioritized profit over preservation. Today, such items are considered cultural artifacts, providing insight into how media companies marketed superheroes and maintained fan engagement. Each discovery reminds fans that the world of 1960s Batman was broader and more complex than previously understood. The Lost PSA underscores the challenge of tracking content across international borders. Television shows, commercials, and PSAs often aired in one country while remaining invisible elsewhere. For decades, fans assumed that everything about Batman's 1966 series had been accounted for. The London PSA proved otherwise. Archivists now suspect that other international broadcasts, whether in Europe, Australia, or Asia, may contain additional lost scenes or public appearances. These hidden materials could offer new insights into Adam West's performances and the cultural reach of the series, fueling fan speculation and renewed research. There is a unique psychological appeal to lost media. Fans become deeply invested in finding missing content because it promises discovery, insight, and a sense of ownership over cultural history. The Batman PSA exemplifies this phenomenon. It became legendary precisely because it was thought lost. The excitement of rediscovery taps into nostalgia, curiosity, and the thrill of the hunt. It's not just about watching Adam West on screen. It's about filling in gaps in collective memory, solving a puzzle that has remained incomplete for decades. For many, the PSA is a reminder of the magic of uncovering history firsthand. Some accounts suggest that filming the London PSA was a peculiar experience for Adam West. Reports claim he encountered curious onlookers who recognized him as Batman and were eager to see him deliver his safety message. Production crews had to manage crowds, equipment, and the unusual challenge of turning ordinary streets into a controlled filming environment, all while maintaining the integrity of the PSA. These anecdotes enrich the story, showing that even brief projects like a public service announcement involved real effort, planning, and challenges. They provide a human dimension to the legend of the lost scene, reminding fans that behind every clip is a team of people working to preserve the character's influence. The rediscovery of lost media reinforces the lasting legacy of the 1966 Batman series. Adam West's performance, the show's vibrant style, and the imaginative villains all contributed to a cultural phenomenon that endures today. Even decades later, the series influences modern adaptations, merchandise, and fan conventions. The London PSA, though brief and unusual, is a testament to the enduring authority and charm of West's Batman. It also demonstrates how media from the 1960s continues to resonate with audiences, reminding the world why this version of the Caped Crusader remains iconic. Fan conventions have played a critical role in spreading knowledge about lost Batman media. When the PSA surfaced, conventions became forums for discussion, speculation, and sharing of rare content. Collectors brought photographs, screen captures, and anecdotes, turning fan gatherings into mini archives. This collaborative approach demonstrates the power of fan communities. Without dedicated enthusiasts, the Lost PSA might have remained obscure, and knowledge of Adam West's unusual London appearance might have faded entirely. Conventions, forums, and online groups help ensure that the cultural memory of 1960s Batman continues to thrive. Digitization has revolutionized the preservation of media. The London PSA, like many other lost treasures, survived thanks to efforts to digitize fragile reels and make them accessible to a wider audience. Digital technology allows archivists to correct degradation, restore image and sound quality, and distribute clips globally. This democratization of access ensures that even brief or obscure footage can reach fans worldwide. It also emphasizes how modern technology can recover and preserve pieces of pop culture that were once thought irretrievably lost. The PSA's rediscovery exemplifies the marriage of archival diligence and digital innovation. The story of the London PSA provides valuable lessons for media historians. First, even content that seems minor or trivial can have lasting cultural significance. Second, international archives are invaluable resources, often holding materials unknown in the country of origin. Finally, collaboration between fans, archivists, and historians is essential. Without combined efforts, rare clips like the PSA may remain hidden indefinitely. The discovery encourages researchers to remain vigilant, curious, and patient, reminding us that history is rarely fully written in real time. Ultimately, the PSA demonstrates why Batman continues to captivate audiences. From the dark, Gotham streets of modern cinema to the bright, colorful adventures of the 1960s, the character adapts, evolves, and surprises. Discoveries like the London PSA remind us that Batman is more than a superhero. He is a cultural icon, capable of transcending entertainment to influence real-world behavior. Fans, scholars, and casual viewers alike can appreciate how even a one-minute scene can alter our understanding of a beloved character, proving that the legacy of the Caped Crusader is far richer than previously imagined. One reason the 1966 Batman series faded from television may lie in the tangled web of licensing and legal restrictions. Over the decades, rights to the show shifted between companies, creating hurdles for rebroadcasts, merchandise, and international distribution. Fans have speculated that these legal barriers contributed to missing footage and the suppression of material like the London PSA. Warner Brothers, Disney, and other studios were often constrained by contracts or ownership disputes. Such corporate complexities may explain why certain episodes and promotional clips were inaccessible for decades, fueling myths of deliberately hidden content. The London PSA itself is a fascinating case study in how fictional characters can serve public causes. Unlike traditional superhero adventures, PSAs transform characters into moral educators, blending entertainment with civic responsibility. For children in 1967 London, seeing Batman guide them across streets was both fun and instructive. The combination of celebrity appeal, costume recognition, and moral authority ensured that the message stuck. This innovative approach demonstrates how the 1960s media leveraged pop culture icons for education and public welfare, a strategy rarely seen today. Archival research into the PSA has revealed rare behind-the-scenes photographs, production notes, and correspondence. These materials provide a glimpse into the planning and logistics of shooting in London. From permits for street closures to coordination with child actors, such documentation enriches fan understanding, revealing that even a short PSA required professional planning and foresight. It also underscores the broader challenge of preserving historical media. Without these records, the PSA might have been lost entirely. The PSA's existence in the UK created an unexpected layer of international fandom. British viewers of the 1960s series had access to the PSA, while American fans remained unaware. This disparity highlights the role of cultural exchange in global pop culture. Fans around the world began sharing stories and materials related to Batman, leading to collaborations across continents. The rediscovery of the PSA allowed American fans to connect with the international history of the series, bridging decades and geographies in shared enthusiasm. While the 1967 PSA might seem unique, modern superheroes occasionally appear in educational initiatives. Today, characters like Spider-Man or Superman are featured in anti-bullying campaigns, health initiatives, and safety programs. The London PSA shows that Adam West's Batman was a pioneer in this respect, demonstrating that superheroes could influence real-world behavior beyond entertainment. Comparing past and present reveals a lineage of cultural responsibility embedded within superhero media, linking the 1960s to contemporary strategies. The story of the London PSA illustrates the fragility of cultural memory. Media history can be lost to decay, neglect, or legal constraints, leaving gaps in public understanding. By preserving and rediscovering content like the PSA, Archivists ensure that future generations can experience the full scope of Batman's influence. The clip becomes more than a curiosity. It is a piece of cultural heritage, bridging past and present, and reminding audiences that even brief, obscure media can carry significant historical weight. Many lost media discoveries are driven by fans rather than studios. Enthusiastic collectors, researchers, and hobbyists often uncover forgotten reels, advertisements, or promotional materials. The Batman PSA is a prime example. While Kaleidoscope performed the official archival work, it was fan interest and persistent speculation that kept the story alive. This dynamic demonstrates the power of fan communities in shaping media history and preserving cultural artifacts. The rediscovery of lost content like the London PSA allows fans to reimagine Batman's legacy. It challenges the simplistic notion that the 1960s Batman was purely lighthearted and campy. Even in a 1-minute PSA, Adam West's portrayal was serious, authoritative, and impactful. This nuance enriches the historical understanding of the character, suggesting that the 1966 series had layers that went beyond mere comedy and spectacle. The PSA's discovery has inspired researchers to examine other lost media from the 1960s and beyond. It has led to renewed interest in archival projects, fan-driven investigations, and scholarly studies of superhero media. By drawing attention to the fragility and potential of forgotten content, this 1-minute clip has had an outsized impact on pop culture research, proving that even minor rediscoveries can influence the study of media history. Finally, the Lost London PSA reminds us that legacy is not static. Batman's influence continues to evolve, shaped not only by the original series, but also by the ongoing discovery of hidden content. For fans, historians, and archivists, the PSA embodies a moment where history, pop culture, and human curiosity intersect. It's a testament to the enduring fascination with superheroes, the dedication of those who preserve history, and the excitement that comes from uncovering secrets long thought lost. The rediscovery of the London PSA naturally raises the tantalizing question, what else is still hidden? Fans and archivists alike have speculated that additional clips, whether unaired episodes, behind-the-scenes footage, or promotional appearances, may still exist, tucked away in private collections or overlooked archives. Some of these lost materials could provide insight into the 1960s production process, character development, or even rare interactions between Adam West and his co-stars. Each discovery has the potential to reshape our understanding of the show, demonstrating that the 1966 Batman series still holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. The London PSA is just the tip of the iceberg, a small glimpse into a world of untapped history. Part of the fascination with lost media like the PSA lies in its emotional resonance. For fans who grew up watching Adam West, the clip evokes nostalgia, excitement, and a sense of wonder. It reminds them of Saturday mornings spent in front of the television, comic books in hand, fully immersed in the colorful world of Gotham City. Discovering previously unseen material creates a connection across generations, allowing older fans to relive cherished memories while introducing new fans to a version of Batman they may never have imagined. The PSA is more than a 1-minute public service announcement. It is a bridge between past and present, a testament to the enduring emotional power of Adam West's portrayal.